So coming back to the republishing of the cartoons and Macron giving it his stamp of approval as well. 2 stabbings took place, I think it was 25th of September this year.
After Islamic extremists attacked it.
Yeah, it was Islamic. Are you really denying? Like Islamic. Really? Are you denying that it was Islamic? It was Islamic.
Editorial office.
Be honest.
In 2015.
Islam was taken from everyone. 1.8 billion people on the planet.
Ooh, okay, guys. Now I remember why I highlighted this video. Okay, remember he's saying like, look, there are 1.8 billion Muslims, and they're saying this is Islamic. So he's suggesting they're generalizing all Muslims, even though they're not. Okay, they're not generalizing all Muslims, right? If I say the person who stabbed me was a woman, that is not suggesting that I'm not suggesting that all women are stabbers. Okay, this act was an Islamic attack. It was an Islamic attack. Does this Islamic? He said all Muslims are like this. Look at this.
Islam was taken from.
Look at the part that they're highlighting. Look at this.
This year.
After Islamic extremists attacked.
He said Islamic extremists attacked. Okay, so he's concluding
in 2015.
Islam was taken from everyone. 1.8 billion people on the planet. It was as if this person personified the whole religion.
Did he say that? First of all, I wish he said that, because that would be true, but he didn't say that. He didn't suggest that it was all Muslims are like that. He said Islamic extremists as if this is not in the nature of Islam, which is in the nature of Islam. He didn't say what you're saying he did. He didn't say what you're saying he did. I wish he said what you're saying he did.
At that moment in time when he was carrying out that attack. And then what happened?
It was Islamic. How could you deny this was not Islamic?
Was Macron then came out and said, yes, Islam is in crisis, not making the distinction between Islam and Muslims.
He did make the extension, but he did so many times. He says Muslims are the main victim of Islamic extremism. He keeps separating them. He keeps saying they're not all like this. He keeps saying that this is a problem with the minority. He keeps saying that we need to defend the Muslims in France from the Islamic extremists. That's what he constantly says. How could you say he's not separating them? Do you watch his interviews? Do you watch his speeches? He says that more than the times that he mentions Islamic extremism and radicalism. God damn it! Like, are you watching different speeches than I do?
He probably doesn't even know the difference, frankly.
Oh my God, you are the one that don't know the difference. You are the idiots who think that Muslims are bad and Islam is purely good. It's the other way around. Most Muslims are good and Islam is purely evil.
L'islam est une religion qui vit une crise aujourd'hui, partout dans le monde.
Pigeon-hearted, pusillanimous weasel.
And then he goes,
Wow,
no,
you
we
got
don't
him.
have a problem with the Muslims. What did Malcolm X say? You can't hate
He didn't generalize all Muslims.
the roots of the tree without ending up hating the tree. And the thing is, I know people are like, yeah, but Muslims have done this and Muslims have done that. Okay. But those are individuals, on the ground. Here we're talking state-sponsored bigotry. You can't compare the two, mate.
Bigotry, the person that constantly keeps saying that he wants to make French Muslims feel like they're French, that they're part of the society, that they're welcomed here in France, that he wants to be their leader, he wants to represent them as well and defend them as well. He's the bigot here.
Parce qu'il apprenait à des élèves la liberté d'expression, la liberté de croire et de ne pas croire, a été la victime.
He was a victim,
d'un attentat terroriste.
And yes, what? Okay, if he wasn't an Islamist terrorist, I'm not gonna say the word. Then what was he? Oh, God damn it! Like, look at this. They circle this.
Islamiste, caractérisé.
When stuff
Thank you, Macron, for calling it what it is. Thank you so much for not making the far right groups the only people that are calling this what it is. Thank you for taking that. You Muslims should be thanking Macron. Thank you for taking the ammunition out of far-right groups, Macron. Thank you for making us safer by not letting these far-right groups becoming the dominant force against Islam. Thank you, Macron. This is what a sane Muslim would say. Thank you, Macron.
This happens, it makes it worse. Even in psychology, you got something called the Milgram Experiment, yeah, which shows that people will go to extraordinary lengths if they are told to do so by a person of authority. So what happened last week was a teacher in France who was known to show pictures of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was beheaded by a, let's face it, a psychotic individual. Okay, let's see what events built up to that attack. So parents had been campaigning for some time because apparently that teacher was a, I don't know, what do you call it, a serial picture shower of the Prophet. Nothing happened. Then the local mosque, they also shared a video in which they were saying, look, something needs to be done. What then happened was,
What? A serial picture show? What the hell are you talking about?
they also shared a video in which they were saying, look, something needs to be done. What then happened was, after this event,
He's really like exaggerating one side and like trying to downplay the other one. But that's not the part I want to highlight. So
the mosque that shared the video got shut down. What message is this sending?
see, he doesn't. Again, I disagree with the mosque being shut down for 6 months. I think that was a little bit too much. But he doesn't mention that when they were playing the video, they were actively saying that the teacher needs to be intimidated. Like, look at the way he's phrasing it. Like, you're being dishonest to your audience. You know, when I see something that disagrees with my views, I still tell you guys. I'm like, hey, maybe I should reconsider this. But he's hiding information from his audience.
They also shared a video in which they were saying, look, something needs to be done.
Oh yeah, they just showed a video in the mosque saying something needs to be done about this teacher. Yeah, they were actively saying that we need to go and intimidate this teacher. That's what they said. Again, I don't agree with the reaction to the mosque. Maybe I'm open. I have to do more investigation on that to be able to have a position on it. Maybe it was overkill. Maybe it wasn't. But can you at least say what happened? Continue.
What then happened was, after this event, the mosque that shared the video got shut down. What message?
If it was shut down for the period of an investigation, I would be completely for it. The only reason why I'm hesitant to endorse it completely is because it seemed like it was shut down for 6 months. I'm not sure. I think that's like overkill, like collective punishment for an entire mosque for something one person showed a video in a mosque. You're punishing the entire mosque. That might be overkill. Again, I need to know the details more.
Is this sending to the people? Yeah, that here were people who weren't happy with something. They were peacefully protesting and saying, look, what he's doing is wrong. Something needs to be done about it. He loses his job or he stops doing it. But it's like these people are now being treated as the co-conspirators. Yes, of course, the murder of the teacher is wrong. Yeah, that.
Oh my God, he had to add this later. When he originally made the video, he didn't condemn the murder of the teacher at all. And then he had to come back and add this part because, like, yeah, I forgot the most important part. Murder bad. Murder bad. He had to edit this and add this part later. Jesus Christ.
Goes without saying. But now that he's passed away, that doesn't make what he did correct. Yeah? And what's even more perplexing is the fact.
Look at this. Like, they have to, like, hey, yes, murder is bad. However, but.
That he is now being given an award. And
So even when they want to, even when he decided, like, shit, I didn't even condemn the spilling of blood of an innocent person. When he decided to come and edit this and add this to the video after, he spends half a second saying that the murder was bad, and the rest of it saying, but he was evil and he shouldn't have been given an award by the government. So even the adjustment is mostly condemning the victim rather than just calling out the murder. Even when he decided to come out and be like, maybe I should mention this.
in fact, it's the most prestigious award in France.
Yes, like look at Soraya. It's like, yes, damn, he used that but excuse. Exactly. Yes, murder is bad, but.
I mean, what on earth is going on, frankly? This whole beheading thing, yeah, it had me perplexed. But then I saw this report that earlier this year, I think June or July, France has returned 24 heads of Algerians. Yeah, 24
Look at this, okay. Algerian has received the skulls of 24 resistance fighters decapitating during the France's colonial occupation of North African country, and which had been stored for decades in Paris Museum. The return of the remains comes amid a global re-examination of the legacy of colonialism since the May killing of 46-year-old African George Floyd by a white police officer sparked mass protests. United Nations Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet has urged countries to make amends for centuries of violence and discrimination. Okay, so you know what? So he's just highlighting the title. Okay, so he's like, oh my God, look at these French people. They're crazy. They're collecting 24 skulls of Algerians. Okay,
skulls, yeah, back to Algeria from the colonial past that they had kept as trophies in their museums. I mean,
okay.
what is this obsession with the French and heads?
Do you guys just notice what happened? This is the part that I wanted to highlight. Did you guys just notice what just happened? Right? So first of all, I'm not going to mention the obvious part. I'm going to mention the less obvious part. If you actually read the full story, this is France owning up to its colonial past. Okay? So he doesn't mention that part, right? This was a story about France owning up to the mistakes of France in its colonial past. This was what the story was about. But he doesn't mention that. He's just mentioning that, like, hey, these people have 24 skulls as trophies in the museum. That's not how museums work. The reason, when you have 24 skulls in the museum, maybe, like, it was about highlighting what happened in the past, okay? Including the ugly part of France's history. That's how museums work. Maybe you guys don't understand, right? But, so he just, like, reframing the story that actually makes France look good in a way to, like, hey, first of all, the museum, the reason why they probably had these skulls is to show the crimes that they have committed in the past. But now they're even re-examining it, and actually maybe we should send this back to Algeria because because maybe it's not good that we're having it. So this whole thing is basically France is holding itself accountable for its dark history. Okay, that he turned that message around, that story around to that actually makes France look good. To like, wait, why did these people are collecting skulls? Like, what's wrong with them? These people are like effed up in the head or something. That's how he's trying to reframe the story. But the most important part is this last sentence that he used, okay? Again, let me know if you notice why I'm highlighting this part. Okay? Let me know if you catch it.
Yeah, the 24 skulls, yeah, back to Algeria from the colonial past that they had kept as trophies in their museums. I mean, what is this obsession with the French and heads?
What is this obsession with the French and heads? Do you guys know what I'm about to say right now, right? Do you know what I'm about to say? Remember earlier in the video when he was crying about acting like Muslims as a whole are like radical and violent, and they're taking the actions of a few people and generalizing it to a whole. Yes, Amani got it. Remember how it was like when the people who weren't even generalizing, the people that were actually being specifically calling something that somebody did without actually attributing it to a whole bunch of other people, when he was like, oh, it's as if like all Muslims or all Islam is like this, even though they weren't doing that, he was acting like they were doing that. He was just doing that just a few minutes ago, wasn't he? And now he's talking about all French people. What is it with not with these people, not with these museum people? It's like, what is it with the French? Imagine if there was if he was anybody of the people that he was criticizing said anything similar like this about Muslims as a whole. You know, look at this. He's saying this is right after we're highlighting a story of a Muslim beheading somebody. Highlighting a story of a Muslim beheading somebody, and he says
they had kept as trophies in their museums. I mean, what is this obsession with the French and heads?
Imagine after the story of a Muslim beheading a teacher, in daylight, then Macron or any journalist came out and said, any French journalist came out and said, what is this obsession with Muslims and beheading? Would these idiots, would these YouTubers, would the entire world would not be crying foul day and night? Would that not be would that part, would that segment not be on repeat day and night for eternity? Do you think that would not happen if Macron or any YouTuber or any of these people say like, hey, imagine the journalists that they keep highlighting even though they didn't journalize? Imagine if one of them came out and said, what is it with Muslims and beheadings? The fact that they don't have anything like that to highlight right now shows that they have been looking far and wide and they haven't found anything. But yet this YouTuber with 374,000 subscribers comes and says, hey, what is it with French people as a whole and this? And nobody cares. Nobody cares because we're adults, because this is like it's nothing. Because because French people are not crybabies like you. You see the hypocrisy? They think they're catching hypocrisy, yet they generalize like this and they don't see their own hypocrisy.
So what these guys are now doing is they're panicking, yeah? They're showing a lack of leadership, chaos, and breeding more contempt and more hatred and division by shutting down charities and NGOs, targeting mosques in
Charities and NGOs, as if Islamic charities and NGOs have all been like A plus all the way. None of them have been used for some shady behavior across Europe.
Indiscriminately, and that has led to the latest crime, the latest terrorist attack, which is 2 Muslim women have been stabbed near the Eiffel Tower. I think one of the sisters was stabbed 6 to 7 times. And
Look the way he's look how easily he's condemning this, which he should, which I did, which we did here, all of us did. Is he going to say but? Okay, so these Muslims were stabbed under the Eiffel Tower. That was a disgusting, vile behavior, okay? So he's condemning it. Okay, good job. Yes, I condemn it with you, okay? Let's see.
you could hear people saying, calling them dirty Arabs.
Okay.
When the lead
Oh, wait. Guys, did you notice something was missing after he condemned that action, okay? So the Muslims who were stabbed under the Eiffel Tower, that was disgusting, right? He condemned that, so we did. So did we, right? Did you notice there was something missing after he condemned that? There was something missing. There was something missing. There was no but after it, was there? There was no but right after condemning this. Did he say, oh yes, these Muslim women under the Eiffel Tower were stabbed, but I can understand French society, like after the French society, they're under edge right now, or I can see this. No, he didn't say any buts. He didn't say any buts. He just condemned it. He just outright condemned it. No ifs and buts, right?
and you could hear people saying, calling them dirty Arabs.
You guys, you guys got it. But was missing. But, exactly. But, yes, but you guys got it. That's what's missing.
Leaders,
No
and
buts.
when state-sponsored bigotry is rife, it leads to anarchy. But you know what's really sad here is, yes, the beheading of the teacher is ridiculous.
Okay. Yes, it's ridiculous. I'll take that. I mean, I would want it to some stronger word, but okay, I'll accept ridiculous.
Yeah, unjustifiable.
Okay, unjustifiable.
But so is
Oh, there's a but. There's a but. There's always a but.
ridiculous. Yeah, unjustifiable. But so
But. You hear it? There's a but right all the time. God damn
is
it.
this stabbing as well. It's a clear terrorist attack. Calling that a terrorist attack and blaming an entire religion and saying we need to
Why didn't you say the stabbing is vile, but something else is also bad, huh? Why do you have to keep every time you want to highlight Islamic attacks, you have to wash it with something right after. You have to yes, that's wild, but this. But look over here. How come would these people ever say Okay, yes, the stabbing of the Muslims under the Eiffel Tower is bad, but the murder of Samuel Paty was even more bad because he actually died. Would you guys say anything like that? No. The but only comes after the things that you want to dismiss as a violent, disgusting act.
To do this and having special laws coming out. But here, Muslims have been stabbed and the media was silent. It was only after the uproar in social media that they gave it a little report.
Wait, what?
But here, Muslims have been stabbed and the media was silent. It was
The
only
media was not silent.
after the uproar in social media that they gave it a
Oh, wait, so it was not silent.
little report here.
What are you
and
talking
there.
about? It was not silent.
And I'm not hearing the word terrorist being said at all. And
Okay, maybe it wasn't called. Okay, so for it to be okay, so people think the word Terry is used again. I can't. He's saying it anyway, so I might as well say it. The word terrorist is used as a way to make something sound more scary and evil than it is. It's not like that. Okay, you could end the lives of 50 people, and it not being an act of terror by definition, and you could like stab a person and not kill them, and it could be a terror attack based on the motivation. If it's an act of bigotry or racism, you call it an act of bigotry and racism. That is not a terror attack. Okay? If it has political or religious motivation, then that's usually called a terror attack. It's not a way to make something see taking the life of 50 people is worse than injuring one person. But the injuring one person could be a terror attack, and killing 50 people could be not that. It depends on the motivation. It's not based on the intensity of the crime.
is it a Christian terrorist attack?
Yeah, there are Christians. If it was based on hey, Jesus told me to go kill these people and he did, yeah, it would be a terror attack. If it was a political thing, it was I'm gonna radical, one of the right-wing groups that is trying to spread fear, it would probably be categorized as a terror attack. Okay, if it was okay, so for example, if you say, let's say a Muslim, okay, if a Muslim says I just stabbed this person because I don't like, I don't know, Chinese people, okay, even if it was a Muslim, it would not be a terror attack, it would be a racist attack, okay. But if he said, no, I stabbed him because Islam, then it would be a terror attack, or because Christian domination, or I'm trying to start a race war, because a far right group that is trying to start a race war. That would be a terror attack. It's not based on who's doing it. If a Muslim says I did this attack because I don't like Chinese people, it wouldn't be a terror attack. It depends on the motivation.
Terrorist attack? No, none of that, mate. None of that. Why? Because the victims are Muslims.
No. It's not because the victims are Muslims. It depends on the motivation of the person who's doing the attack. It's not based on the intensity of the crime.
Is this what we've come to for votes?
Cette bataille, c'est la nôtre et elle est existentielle.
This battle is ours and it is an existential one. Okay.
Let's leave it there, guys. Until
All right, let's leave it there.